Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna. Amy.
And I'm Lacey G.
Today we're breaking down Taylor's song Better Man, and that's Better Man, Taylor's version from the vault.
Yes.
Unless you guys were confused. It's the 22nd track on Red Taylor's version. There's not too many albums where you say, this is the 22nd song, and we're far from over.
I know.
So we have many more to go through.
Very
It was
good.
written by Taylor Swift in 2012, and it was going to be on the original album Red, but she decided not to use it. Instead, she gave it to a country band, Little Big Town, and they released it in 2016. So this song has had a big journey. She wrote it in 2012. They released it in 2016. It won a bunch of awards the following year or two.
Yeah, like the 2018.
Yeah,
Grammys.
it won Grammys in 2018. So it had a very long life until we actually saw what it is. And now it's being re-recorded and used on Red Taylor's version. So it's really great. And I got to say, one of my favorite vault tracks.
Oh, yeah.
It is such a beautiful song. Let me tell you, Red Taylor's version coming out while I'm going through a divorce, you do not know how many lyrics I have thrown up in someone's face.
Any you want to get tattooed on your body, Lacey?
I do want to get some tattooed on my body. It's not a Taylor lyric. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, a different episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Taylor
that's a
tattoos
good
is a
idea.
different episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
idea. That's a good idea. I do want to do that episode.
This song, I was in such awe. I had never heard the original. Had y'all?
No, I hadn't. Yeah.
I had, but Little Big Town is not someone that comes across my radar that often. So I had heard it, and I knew that Taylor had written it.
Yeah. I knew of it because I also, I'm not like a Little Big Town stan or anything. And I knew of it, but then she performed it at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville in 2018. And that video's on YouTube, and that video lives rent free.
It's so
I
good.
have seen
In
that
my head.
when we were doing research.
Yeah, and so for the last few years, I would just randomly listen to her performance of it to the point where I didn't I know Little Big Town had the song, but I don't listen to their version of it. Sorry if you're listening, Little Big Town, but I would listen to Taylor's live performance from the Bluebird Cafe until we got the recorded version.
Would you like a little clip of Taylor talking about this from the Bluebird Cafe before she sings it? She talks about
Yeah.
writing the
Do
song.
you need context onto why she was there?
Sure, hit me.
Well, the guy that she's singing with is Craig Wiseman, and he's in the Nashville Hall of Fame as a songwriter. And so he was performing at the Bluebird Cafe, and he brought Taylor out as a surprise guest. So nobody knew that she was going to be there. And it's so funny if you watch the performance, the entire thing when he's introducing her, and he doesn't say her name yet, but you can tell he's talking about Taylor Swift. There's a girl in the crowd front row.
She wigging
She
out.
her jaw drops. She looks around. She's like, "Is it? Is it?" And when Taylor Swift comes out, she's trying so hard not to cry. And I'm like, "Girl, I am you." If I was there and Taylor Swift just came out for a surprise performance and then sang "Better Man," oh my god, unbelievable. But anyway, that's why she was.
Yeah,
there.
this is her talking about writing the song Better Man and giving it to Little Big Town.
When I would play Writers' Nights in the round, I was playing songs that I knew I was going to be putting out and hopefully praying people would one day hear on the radio. I didn't have the experience of a writer writing something and then it going out into the world and you hearing it from someone else's voice and someone else's perspective and them putting their own spin on it until Little Big Town heard a song that I had written and they gave me that opportunity to feel that way. This is a song called Better Man.
That's really cool. The first song she gave away ended up being a giant hit.
Yeah. Well, and you were saying earlier, she wrote it in 2012. She gave it to Little Big Town in 2016, you said?
Yes.
And then it won at the Grammys in 2018. And now we're getting her version in 2022. Is that the year we're in?
Yeah.
It just
Well, it came out 2021.
Yeah.
We're covering it
We're
in
covering it
2022 because
2022.
Red Taylor's version is so long.
Right. But that just goes to show how good of a song it is.
Yeah.
If it does have that longevity, just when it's just one of the best songs lyrically.
Yeah, it won Song of the Year at the 2017 CMAs. The song won a Grammy Award for Best Country Duo Group Performance at the Grammys in 2018. And I love hearing more stats about songs. Little Big Town's version of this song hit number 1 on the country music charts February 2017. It spent 2 weeks at number 1, and it was dethroned by Body Like a Back Road by Sam Hunt.
Really?
Yeah. So here is Little Big Town. They are talking to Who are they talking to? I think it's Robin Roberts. They're talking to someone about how they came across Taylor giving them this song.
She emailed Philip one night and she said, "Hey, I keep thinking about this song that I wrote and wondering if it might be for y'all." And so we listened to it, just see what you think. So she just sent it in the email and he forwarded it to us.
She did like a demo, and
it was her singing.
Yeah, and we were touring all this year, and so we would live with it for a few weeks and kept listening to it. And we kept coming back to it and couldn't get away from it, and it was sticking with us too. So we had to cut it.
Well, we knew, and then we were playing it like for Luke and Dustin Lynch were on the road, and we're always listening to each other's songs and. They were like, that one.
They knew.
Yeah,
they all loved it instantly.
You could see the reaction from people. Yeah.
Now, did you wonder, why doesn't Taylor just cut it?
We didn't ask. We just said thank you very much.
Don't
we'll
ask.
take it.
Don't tell. Yes.
She wanted us to do it, and we were very honored to take it on and try our best at it.
That was Hoda Kotb.
Okay.
Not Robin Roberts. Hoda.
Well, Karen Fairchild, who is in Little Big Town, she once said that that Swift thought of the group because of the harmonies that they did. So I mean, why didn't? I don't know why. Well, because the harmonies.
Because
that's
you sound
why.
good together, guys.
I do wonder though why, at like this song specifically, like she said that she didn't put it on Red because she went with All Too Well. Like she was like torn between it's either going to be All Too Well or Better Man, and she went with All Too Well. So if Better Man has the status to her in her mind of All Too Well, that it is that deep and that good, I wonder why she just didn't think, oh, I'll just put it on my next album or on a different album. I mean, she didn't know she was going to re-record her entire catalog one day, but still to be like, oh, I'll just put it on the next one or maybe release it on my own.
Her next album was 1989.
Right,
Does this go on that?
That's true. I mean, it could be like a deluxe.
It could be more piano than country sounding. Well, this is certainly a country vibe song.
Maybe she clearly held on to it for a couple years before she gave it away. So maybe, I don't know. I'm so curious. I'm going to add that to my list of questions we have for Taylor Swift.
Do you think she made the right choice of including All Too Well on her album over this song?
Yes, because
I think she did.
I think All Too Well is in the league of its own. But I did wonder for a very long time why Better Man wasn't on it, and I feel like I finally got the answer once I Googled it.
And I do. Maybe it's because I like Taylor Swift a lot. I think I like her version better than the Little Big Town version.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, I'm adding to our list of questions for Taylor. Why didn't you record Better Man?
And when we found out about the re-recordings, I think this song was at the top of anticipation.
It was.
Against All Too Well, 10-minute version. That was number one, and this was the most.
So she talked to Ryan Seacrest about that.
Okay.
Whenever the news first came out, I think she had just released Lover. She was promoting Lover, but we knew that she was going to be re-recording her music. And so here's what she said about Better Man.
Like, I'm always looking on Instagram and Tumblr and Twitter and seeing what they would want. Like, some of the things that they've said that are really interesting to me are like, I wrote the song Better Man for the Little Big Town. Making a number one country song, but I wrote that during the Red, like it was originally going to be on the Red album. So it's like the fans were like, maybe she'll put Better Man, her version, on the Red album. And I was like, that's an amazing idea. So I'm going to be listening to what they are saying.
I love that. And I love
we
it.
need to say more.
Yeah, we do. Well, okay, what would
You're
you
saying
like
Swifties aren't loud enough?
What do you want to say right now, Amy?
Nothing.
She's listening.
Don't put me on the spot.
I actually do have a question. I was wondering, this is a question for Taylor, I guess, and for the fans and for us, everyone in the room. So we know that she's re-recording all of the songs that she had originally written that didn't make it into the album, right? All the vault tracks, songs like this one and Babe. Do you think that she would re-record songs that she was featured on that technically
like Two is Better Than One?
That's exactly what I was thinking. How did you know?
That has a similar vibe to, I mean,
because
I
do. Yeah. Two is Better Than One is Boys Like Girls featuring Taylor Swift, and I love that song.
It's a great song.
I was a Boys Like Girls stan.
Really?
Yes. One time I went to go see Boys Like Girls in concert, and I was front row, and I thought it was their concert. I didn't know that they were the opening act for Avril Lavigne. Suddenly their set was over, and I was like, what? And then Avril Lavigne came out, and I was like, what? I mean, it was a fun concert. I got to see Avril Lavigne, but that was a surprise to me. So yeah, I was truly a Boys Like Girls like stan. Like I saw them every single time they were in town. I went through a whole phase, and then they have this song with Taylor Swift, and I adore it. And I was thinking like this morning, I was like, I wonder if they would re-record that song, or not, because it's like not technically like her song. She's featured on it, but
this isn't about them. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
no.
I don't think so, because she's doing it to own it. If she re-recorded it, she wouldn't own it.
Like it doesn't make sense, but if she's if she's listening to what the fans are just putting out there,
I'd like to hear an updated version of "Highway Don't Care" with Tim McGraw. That's a good song.
Yeah. I shouldn't laugh. It's just I really want 2 is better than 1. Taylor's version. It could happen, and when it does, we're gonna come back to this moment and be like, Anna
called it,
nailed it.
So in this song, what is she writing about? I think the title kind of gives it away, but what is she writing about? What is she saying?
That it's your fault. That it is your fault, and that you did this to me. I mean, I tried to pull some of my favorite lyrics, but there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably better off on my own than loving a man who didn't know what he had when he had it. It was always on your terms. I waited on every careless word, hoping they might turn sweet again like it was in the beginning. So whenever this song first came out, I was still living with my ex. And you better believe I would jam this song at volume 10.
Hey, Lacey, does this line hit close to the heart? I know the bravest thing I ever did was run.
Yeah.
That's my favorite line from this song.
I think I love
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I know that Taylor has a lot of lyrics. Most of her lyrics have a whole lot of weight to them. But me as a man, hearing her singing about, I wish you were a better man, like if that doesn't punch me in the gut saying I need to step it up, not that I think I'm like a slacker or anything, but man, that really sucks to hear. That line has so much weight to it that, man, it hurts just to hear it.
Just being with that careless person who thinks that you'll stick around because there's no reason for you to ever leave or want to stick up for yourself.
I couldn't really find Swifties agreeing who they think this song is about.
I saw some ridiculous
Yeah,
stuff.
like I couldn't.
It's about Calvin Harris. She
I
did
saw
not
that too.
even meet him.
Yeah, I think a lot of
2012.
that speculation was like maybe before they knew when she had written the song.
Yeah,
thinking it was like
because it came out in
recent.
2016, so that's right after she had broken up with Calvin Harris. So it does make sense. But then,
now we know.
Then months later we find out she wrote it 4 years earlier. So
it just goes to show that all of her exes could be better.
Totally.
I've always assumed it was about Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Personally, at least
Maybe that's why she was weighing this and All Too Well.
Yeah, maybe that kind of, because it's about the same relationship.
Which song am I going to take a dig at him for? Which one hurts the most?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hearing I wish you were a better man, like plain and simple, that would really hurt Jake.
Yeah.
That would hurt a lot. But, All Too Well probably takes a pretty good dig at him, too.
Yeah. And there's a lot of parallels for this song and the other songs that we think are about Jake. So, I mean, how could it not be?
I just kind of have always assumed. But I also think one of my favorite lines is in the bridge, where she says, I hold on to this pride because these days it's all I have. And I gave you my best, and we both know you can't say that. Oof. I gave it my best, and we both know you can't say that. Like, you didn't give me your best. That, like, I don't know why the way that she says it, that hurts me. I'm hurt, but in the best way.
This is almost giving me, like, the twinklings of, like, Tolerate It. Almost.
It's like Tolerate It.
It's just like Future feelings, obviously, but it's just like, it's kind of giving me a Tolerate It sentiment.
My love, was supposed to be
celebrated and watch you tolerate it.
It also has hints of it's time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like the bravest thing I ever did was run.
Sometimes to run is the brave thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel like a sad song. It feels like a matter of a fact song. And I know it is deeply emotional, but instead of her being sad, moment I knew, that kind of thing, that this is more a matter of a fact and clarity, knowing that you did your best. And I would hate to say something is someone else's entire fault. But I have said that. I'm like, you know what? Come to find out, this was all you.
Yeah.
Ask me what happened. You. That's what happened. You. I'm telling you, I've been throwing up some Taylor Swift lyrics way too often. Way too often.
Did you
Just
tell
very
that-
accurate.
Did you say that to a starlet in the bathroom? Or an actress in the bathroom at a party?
Yeah. I just adore this song. I perform this song in my car as if I'm the one that wrote it, as if I'm the one that's like going through it, which like I'm just not in my life right now, but I still I scream it as if I am, which maybe is a little bit concerning.
Yeah, for me, like I said, that this is one of my favorite songs from The Vault, and we'll talk about it later. But Babe is one of my other favorite songs from The Vault, and they're both songs that Taylor wrote for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Then now she's coming back and putting her incredible spin on it, and I just can't get enough of both of those songs.
Yeah.
Ooh, and the cockiness, and I bet you think about me. That's another one that I've quoted too.
Just the entire Red Vault is an entire work of art on its own.
Yeah.
Just the Vault.
Which, does that not make you look forward to what's on the vault for 1989? What's on the vault for Reputation? Are you kidding? It's gonna get get crazy.
Maybe the reason that she's taking her time for this is because she knows we're not ready. We think we're ready. We're not.
We're not. We're begging
not.
for
We're
it,
not
but
ready
she
for
knows.
it. We're not. She's like
Mother Swift knows.
She knows.
You're not ready.
Yeah, she's like, you're just not yet. You're just not ready yet. You're still thinking about better, man. You know? She's just giving us a little bit more time.
Are you ready for it? No.
I'm
You're
not.
You're not. No. Not
I
Taylor.
am.
I did see a lot of people make the comparison. It's not necessarily a romantic feeling, but maybe they relate it to their father and how they should have been a better man. So there's a lot of different levels that Taylor meets us at. Like we know, we can relate, we can understand no matter the relationship, even if it's a friendship or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
I never
love
thought
that.
about that. Yeah.
Wow.
Now
Oof.
I'm realizing I have divorce and daddy issues. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks. I'm a dad too, so this is really hitting me in every direction now. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks,
Gosh.
Amy.
Let's all do our best.
Okay, I have a question I want to pose to the group because she says, because I also think one of my favorite, I mean, every lyric in the song is our favorite. Let's be honest. We've all said that. But when she says, I wish it wasn't 4 a.m. standing in the mirror saying to myself, you know, you had to do it. Do you guys ever talk to yourself in the mirror? Like realistically?
No.
Like people do that all the time on TV. Do you ever talk to yourself
I don't
in
think
the mirror?
that's a thing people do in real life.
Because I do when I'm really drunk.
Yeah,
and
but
I
not
need,
like
I'll stand, like I'll go to the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror, pull yourself together.
I guess if it is 4 a.m., you probably
Standing
are
in the
talking to
mirror,
yourself in the mirror.
telling
Yeah.
you- and you know you had to do it. You know you had to put down that glass of wine.
Yeah.
You know? But I will talk to myself in the mirror sometimes.
But only when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit.
Yes?
Yeah.
Only okay.
Sure.
I have done it sober, but then I've like caught myself like, I can't believe I just did that. Like
Yeah.
it just spills out. It's not intentional. Like I don't mean to speak to myself, but I'll say something and I'm looking at myself. I'm like, oh shoot, I just said something.
But is it something where you're trying to pump yourself up for something,
No.
or
It-
talk yourself into, or is it just like,
no.
man, I need to go get bananas? Wait, I'm talking to myself.
It's not a to-do list. No, it's more probably, which is terrible. It's more probably cutting than anything. You know, it's just like, and it just spills out.
Wait,
What
what does cutting mean?
Like negative. Like
Okay,
Oh.
like oh, you
like
shouldn't have
stupid
said that, or like
whatever.
oh,
Yeah,
hmm.
Oh.
yeah. Anyways,
Are you
I mean,
okay?
it was- yeah, I'm fine. It was like
We told you about our friends at BetterHelp.
y'all have bad thoughts about yourselves at times,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's normal.
Yeah. It is normal. It is.
It's no biggie.
Cool.
Do you want a hug? No.
Do you wish that we were all better people?
No, y'all
You
are
wish that we were
great.
better friends.
Better woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, what a downer.
Well, Amy needs to take a few minutes to go collect herself.
Or go talk trash to herself in the bathroom. That was so dumb. Why'd you say that?
Oh no!
Wow,
no.
perfect example.
No.
Exactly what I was talking about.
No.
No.
But no, talking in the mirror, I think to like pump yourself up, it seems like it's one of the just movie tropes that I don't know if people actually do it for real. Like, okay, I'm going to go in there and tell my boss blank, blank, blank.
Yeah.
I don't think that really happens. I don't know.
Maybe
it does.
I kind of just do when I need to like put myself together.
Yeah.
I need to get myself together. Or if I know like I'm on the verge of like crying about something, I'll just like look at myself in the mirror and be like, pull yourself together. Don't do this. Not here. Not now. There's too many people around, you know?
Oh, that's the worst, trying not to cry around people.
Yeah.
I will
'Cause
never
then you start
forget.
thinking about it even more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One day at work, something happened and someone took a part of my job away from me, which automatically told me I'm getting fired. And y'all all came in here and recorded a podcast, and I was over there by myself just crying. And Amy walks in at one point. Robert walks in, our boss. Amy walks in at one point and she was like, "Oh my God, are you crying?" And Robert was like, "Yeah, she's been crying for a while." And here I am. I'm like, I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry.
Why were we recording without you?
It wasn't for this podcast.
Oh, so it's different podcast?
Yeah.
We all, if you're listening, we all work together in like the same room. So, and we all have different podcasts and stuff too. So, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying we were doing like a 13 podcast and then we like didn't invite you or something. Like, what?
That's why she was really crying.
Yeah. The real reason fired from the podcast. No, correction. I don't think I said it that way. But I did say those words.
It's
all
called
about
me
the delivery.
out. Yeah, you walked in like screaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you crying? Are you okay? So awkward.
It is the worst though when you know people are looking at you, and then it's worse when you're about to cry and you're stopping yourself from crying, and somebody goes, "Are you about to cry?" And it's like, no. Yeah.
And then one day, now I swear that I'm fine. But then one day I cried so hard at work that it was so awkward for Amy that she's like, "I just have to go. Like I can't even be around you anymore."
So cold-hearted.
We're okay though. Promise.
It's fine.
Lacey, if it makes you feel better, Amy talked to herself in the mirror later that day.
She was like, "Why did I leave?"
But I do have to say, one of my favorite scenes from a movie where you are talking to yourself in the mirror, Nick, is Taxi Driver, when Al Pacino's like, "You talking to me? You talking to me?" With the gun. Oh, it's De Niro? Oh, never mind.
Sorry to be that guy.
No,
It's De
thank
Niro.
you for correcting me.
It's De Niro.
Thank you. That
Travis, his character's name is Travis something. Yeah, you talking to me?
guy. Yeah.
He was a punk rocker.
Yeah. He had a cool mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
Think I could do the mohawk? Think I could pull it off, guys?
There's only one way to find out, Nick.
I don't think I'm going to do it. Well, that does it for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Thanks for joining us. If you'd ever like to chime in with your thoughts on anything we're breaking down or just have a nice comment, all the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. Join us next time because we are going to be breaking down Taylor's song, Nothing New.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.